So we have some pretty major news on the EVGA queue for the Nvidia RTX 3000 GPUs. It's closed. But there is some good news and a sliver of hope. It may mean you're actually going to get a GPU faster now. Let's go over these very important changes. Remember to check out today's sponsor if you're building a PC and need a Windows CD key. That's going to be cdkdeals.com. You can use my code CC20 for a nice discount. And yes, these CD keys are even going to work with Windows 11 if you have Windows 10 now. Very easy activation and checkout process. I'll leave a link in the description below. Hey guys, Tiago with Classical Technology here. Remember to subscribe and smash that like button. It's going to smash that EVGA queue for you if you're in it already. So today, let's talk about the EVGA queue. We're going to talk about what it is and why these changes are very important. First, what is the EVGA queue? I've recommended to many of my viewers, and it's how I myself was able to get a GPU initially. The EVGA queue is basically a notify system where you sign up, and unlike other queue systems like you may have on Newegg or Amazon previously, when you get a notification, you'll have what is now up to 20 hours to respond and buy that GPU. It means you don't have to be really fast like you're playing an FPS game and have a really high click rate in an RTS or something like that, where you get the notification and you have to click immediately and buy, or somebody else takes it, or even worse, a bot takes it. That's people's primary sort of, frustrations with a lot of these online queue systems. Now, this system is different because it gives you, before it was 8 hours, now they just upped it. That's going to be one of the updates. They've upped it to 20 hours that you have to respond. So one of the best ways to have done this, I think, during the release of each GPU, that's really when you want to get in to be sure you're early as possible. For example, some GPUs, like when the 3090 came out and 3080, if you got your queue spot in very early, even though it took a few months sometimes. I remember when I got a 3090, it actually only took maybe 4 to 5 weeks to get notified. Now, people that wanted to get notified for 3080s took considerably longer, just because some of the 3080s are just going to be much more popular. They're cheaper. They're definitely a better value than the 3090 is at MSRP. So certainly that's something to think about. If you can get in the queue system before, it's closed now, but if you could have gotten into it before, it was good to do it as good as possible. And each GPU is going to take a different amount of time. I've had viewers say that they've been in it since almost the beginning and they didn't get a GPU while they saw other people get GPUs. Well, the primary problem is it depends on how popular the model you selected. The more expensive GPUs typically will be a little faster, and some of the ones that are really high in demand, like 3070s and 3080s, those certainly did take a lot longer. So the queue system is basically that notify system that gets you a GPU. It can take a little bit of a while if you're lucky. It won't be like too long. I was lucky in terms of my notification. It was pretty quick, and many of my friends that got it also didn't take a really long time. But basically that's it in a nutshell. I think it's one of the best ways to get a GPU because at least you're guaranteed it at a certain MSRP without having to pay a scalper or have outrageous prices. And EVGA was also one of the manufacturers not to raise the MSRP really all that much. For example, their 3080 Ti is $1399 compared to the Founders Edition at $1199, but you'll find many other 3080 Ti's from other companies like Asus, etc., way over $1399, some even approaching $1,800, basically the scalper price or even the price of what a 3090 should have been. So their prices have stayed pretty fair and pretty consistent, so that's pretty much the EVGA queue in a nutshell. Now that you know sort of the basic principles, let's see exactly what has changed according to what EVGA has put in now. So they are closing the EVGA queue for now until they've caught up with all of the backed up, queues and everybody that's on the list. Something that they're doing in order to make gamers happy, you could say, and that may actually give you a better chance at getting a GPU. If you're on the list and you've already gotten a GPU from them, you will not be able to get a GPU until the people that have never gotten a notification get their GPUs. There are many stories of people getting multiple notifications. You can sign up for an unlimited amount, and EVGA did do this. They did allow you to sign up for as many GPUs as you want, so you can't really blame people for signing up for 4 or 5 different models. After all, you don't know which one's going to come first, so it was actually a pretty good strategy. But now EVGA is closing the queue to people that have signed up for GPUs and received received alerts in the past. They're sending some alerts out, I think, up until today or tomorrow, just to kind of finish off what was left. But if you've received the GPU and you're on the queue, you're not going to get one until the other people that have never gotten an order before get a GPU. And not only that, when it comes back to normal operating procedures, and after EVGA has caught up on the queue of people that never received the GPU, going forward, you're only going to be able to select 2 different GPUs to get notifications for. So that means that possibly you'll only get 2 GPUs going forward from EVGA until who knows what amount of time has passed or something like that. This actually is pretty good business practice. I'm surprised that it hasn't happened yet. If you look at any other store like Micro Center or anything like that that are selling these GPUs, you're only limited to buying one. Even if you catch multiple in stock, they only let you buy one. They even check your license and put you in like a little database, so that way you have to wait 30 days before you can buy another GPU. The idea here is that people that are want to buy, bulk GPUs, either to maybe resell or maybe even crypto miners or something like that want to buy 6 or 7 GPUs, you limit that type of purchase, let them buy just one, and then more gamers, 6 or 7 more gamers compared to one person getting 6 GPUs, will be able to get these GPUs, and they're probably going to be more loyal customers to the store because that gamer is more likely to go back there even during times where crypto mining is low and people aren't reselling GPUs. That gamer is still going to go back to the store and buy other products, maybe a monitor, maybe a gaming focused CPU, maybe a gaming chair. Those stores that sell a lot of different items, just like Newegg does. That's not only Micro Center, Best Buy as well. They're hoping that if gamers are happy, they'll go back there for more products. But people that are buying 6 GPUs for crypto mining or even to resell, if that dies down a little bit, they're not going to really probably care to go back in the store to get something else because their interest was mainly just in using multiple GPUs for that type of purpose. So in that case, for EVGA, probably smart to make gamers happy. EVGA does sell other products as well, not only GPUs that are going to be coming out in the future, they also have keyboards and sound cards, and they're even getting into motherboards now. So they want to keep the ecosystem for gamers happy, and of course they focus on just Nvidia. If you notice, for GPUs, they don't sell any AMD GPUs or anything like that. So they definitely want to maintain that sort of really good reputation that they have for the most part with their warranty and their products. Aside from some of the issues that they have had, we'll touch upon that briefly. They did have some 3090 4013s with the New World Amazon game that certainly had problems. There were some manufacturing issues. I think the soldering on the GPU themselves had problems. Me myself, I had 2 RMA 3090 GPUs. I think a lot of them had that sort of red ring of death, as they call it. The GPU goes red, stops working completely. So I can't say that I always flat out recommend the 4013 GPUs that seem to have had the most problems until they really show that they fixed it. I know that sometimes people will say don't recommend them, don't even buy them, but unfortunately it seems to be some of the ones that are more widely available in stock, and if you don't have a GPU or you need one, that may be actually your only choice. Either not get a GPU or get one that may potentially have some issues. So it's definitely a little bit of a gray line, but I understand when people say not to recommend them because of these issues, but so many people have them and not everybody specifically will have a problem. Of course, the New World thing is definitely unfortunate when they see exactly what's going on with not only the game but also the hardware itself. Even EVGA said they had some sent back and were certainly faulty in terms of their hardware. So that's something to keep in mind if you're lining up for the EVGA queue. There have been issues, so look into it. Look at my own past videos. There have been issues, especially with the 4013 3090 and some of the other 4013 GPUs. Now, having said that, and going back to the queue, this new system I think is terrific because now it's going to open up many more people that never got a GPU to get their chance. So the queue should technically move a lot faster than it did before, because I know many people had multiple notifies selected on the EVGA website. So this is just going to make it go a lot faster as you sift through all those people that got GPUs. Now it's basically just sort of the single people that never got it. So I think this is a really good change, and I'm surprised that it wasn't implemented before. This shortage and the amount of demand has been pretty phenomenal ever since the GPUs came out. I think they should have implemented this a lot sooner. Then I think more spread of the population would have gotten GPUs at MSRP and just generally would have been happier. Because look, I bet a lot of people that did get 3 or 4 GPUs from EVGA, either they're using it for crypto mining or they probably resold the GPUs at a profit, meaning that gamer could have gotten it directly from EVGA for considerably less, but they had to go through a middleman that maybe was just a little snappier and signed up for, multiple notifies. Not everybody is aware of the EVGA queue, and of course this is going to be in the US only. That's certainly another issue, but a lot of GPUs do make their way from the US, secondhand to other countries. So eventually it can also mean more for like worldwide audiences and things like that. But certainly a very good change. Something else that they're doing, they're also going to send an SMS text message to your phone if you do a purchase. The idea here is to minimize bots from being able to buy these GPUs. Even though the process is a little bit slower on the queue, it's not like it pops up and you buy one immediately. You have to wait your turn until you're notified. Still possible that before, think of how many bots or accounts that people could make, separate accounts. So that could mean that multiple GPUs could go to really one single group or individual if they set up multiple accounts and things like that. So this is definitely going to be a way to sort of break down a lot of those issues. And the idea here is to keep the queue flowing a lot faster for people that actually need a GPU and have never been able to get one from the EVGA queue. So far, I definitely really like their plan. So if you've never received the GPU from EVGA, which one should you have on your queue to make sure that you can get it a little bit faster? Well, EVGA tells us themselves in that email that was sent out. They basically say to focus on either the XC or the Ultra models of the GPUs and try not to go for the really rare GPUs such as the 3090 Kingpin, the Hydro Copper, etc., the more water-cooled and specialized GPUs. Those are just made in much lower numbers because they're more expensive and they have a specific use case. Not everybody needs the RTX 3090 Kingpin, as cool as it may be. Focus on the For the Win 3 models. 3090 For the Win 3 probably would be the fastest, albeit it has had the most issues with New World and things like that. So you really have to ask yourself, do you want to go through that risk? I would recommend maybe trying something like, an XC or even a For the Win 3 3070, possibly a 3080. The 3080s will still be very difficult to get. That seems to be one of the GPUs that just have been really hard because of their price to performance sort of ratio. Now, 3080 Ti, I would say that's probably going to be your best bet. 3070 Ti and 3080 Ti. They're newer GPUs and Nvidia seems to really be pushing them a lot. In fact, you see a lot of 3080 Ti's come up in stock often. I mean, it's $13.99. It's not the worst price. It's basically 3090 performance for gaming. Of course, these will all be LHR GPUs, aside from the 3090, which is not affected by that. But it's going to depend on exactly what you want. But you probably have a better chance at getting a faster GPU if you've never gotten one before from the queue. Buy one of these more expensive GPUs, unfortunately. 3080 Ti, I think, would be sort of the one that I would say would go the fastest. 3070 Ti as well. Regular 3080, going to take a long time. Regular 3070, probably a long time. And the 3090, you do have those issues of GPUs breaking, so I can't really recommend it flat out now. But if you do want to risk it, probably going to go pretty fast too, like a For the Win 3 or something like that. Going to go probably faster than some of the other GPUs. Of course, 3060 Ti, those are interesting as well. Definitely manufactured in higher numbers than the higher end GPUs, but they do have a cheaper price, so you can bet a lot of people have selected them as well. But anyway, EVGA themselves said focus on the XC or the For the Win 3 GPUs that are more widely manufactured and just keep out the really niche and rare GPUs like the Hydro Coppers and the 3090 Kingpin. So that's pretty much it in the nutshell. The EVGA queue system is still a great way to get a GPU. If you're on it already and have never gotten a GPU, your chances are probably higher than ever now. For the people that have gotten multiples, unfortunately, you're going to have to be out of it for a while as they have completely closed the queue in order to give other people a chance. But eventually, when they catch back up, they will open it like they said. Then they're going to limit people to just 2 GPUs. That's basically it in a nutshell. I think this is great news for people that never got a GPU before. And even though the queue is closed now, if you've gotten a GPU already, most likely you should wait your turn and just wait for other people to get theirs. So I think that seems very, very fair. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Are you signed up for the EVGA queue now, or did you just miss it and you're going to have to wait? Let me know. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.